Are your morning meetings feeling more chaotic than calm? Well, imagine starting your day with your students with one simple thing that you can do that will not only make them more calm, but engaged for the rest of the day. Stick around because I'm about to share a stress-free way to keep your students focused with zero prep time for the day ahead, and you can pull it up easily at the start of every single school day. By the end of this video, you'll figure out how to make your morning meeting the best part of your day and start your students off with success. I get it. Keeping students engaged during morning meeting is sometimes a struggle, especially later in the year and students are kind of sick of the same routine. For example, when I was teaching kindergarten and first grade, we always ran through the calendar and we had the counting of the days of school, and that can get redundant over time. Even though we know repetition is the mother of skill and our students need to be doing these things, it's nice to have something added into our morning meeting that makes them excited and then takes away the struggle of getting people happy and on board to be at school. As a teacher too, you're also juggling a million things at once, and the last thing you need is an extra thing to add to your plate. So what I'm going to share with you today is something you can easily integrate into morning meeting that's going to make it more fun, engaging for you and your students. And anytime somebody pops in the room and sees you doing this activity, they're going to want to sit down and join you and be a part of the fun. Maybe you've tried games before in morning meeting or discussion questions, but nothing seeming to work to get your students to snap out of the fog that they're in when they come into school. And I know now teaching fifth grade that it's even more tricky to engage kids during morning meeting, and many fifth grade teachers I've talked to don't even do a morning meeting because they don't see the relevance in it. And I think it's an integral part of the day and coming together as a class and setting the intentions for the day and having one or two elements of it that's actually really fun so they have something to look forward to, and it also builds upon the thing that they did the day before. We're all kind of sick of like the wandering eyes and having side conversations during morning meeting, and we want it to be engaging and fun. And so with this video today, I'm hoping that you'll walk away with something that you can easily do, get started the next day after watching it, and I can't wait to hear how much you like it. Like I mentioned before, morning meeting truly sets the tone for the entire day. I think no matter what grade you teach in elementary, there should be some kind of morning meeting. And if you have fifth grade class like I do, they might not be used to coming to the carpet because maybe in fourth grade they didn't have to do that as much, but I was a big proponent of that when I switched to fifth grade, that we're all going to come to the carpet and sit together, including myself as the teacher, and be a part of the group and sharing something together that is consistent but also fun. And that really does set the tone for the day and gets everybody off on the right foot. No matter if you come into the class grumpy because of something that happened right before school, you can kind of adjust and have a zero pressure barrier entry activity that everybody loves. And we know that when students are engaged from the start of the day, that the day just simply runs smoother. It's easier for you as the teacher, it's less stress on them, and that consistency of the same activity definitely gives them that peace of mind that they know what is going to happen. And putting it all together at the beginning of the day, going over what the schedule is going to be, what are specials, and then including your morning meeting activities that kids like and know, then that's going to make your day so much better. The more focused they are, the more excited they are going to be to learn, and the more in control they're going to feel, as well as you as the teacher with your management. So we've talked a little bit about the chaos and how do we fix that. Well, let's dive right into the perfect solution that I've got for you. The game changer for me was when I started incorporating a baby animal slide into morning meeting every single day. If this is the first time you've ever watched one of my videos, then you're going to hear a little bit of behind the scenes of how that got started. And when I first started teaching, I read somewhere in an article that there was true science behind looking at a cute baby animal every single day, and that it gives us an extra 7, I think, seconds or minutes. I can't remember the exact number right now, if it's minutes or seconds to our life every day if we were to look at something cute like a baby animal. And universally, we all love baby animals. There's some characteristics of them that just stand out to us, like having a bigger head with short stubby legs, big eyes, cute cuddly animals we just can't resist. And so it makes dopamine go off in our brain, and we get that feeling of love and wanting to protect something, and that is what extends our life and kids of all ages love to do this. I thought when I switched to 5th grade, they might not like it as much, but I was sorely mistaken. They loved it just as much as my kindergartners and 1st graders did. So it's just one slide a day. So if you're thinking like, oh my gosh, that's another thing I don't want to add to my plate, have no fear. I'm going to show you exactly how I do it in the classroom. And you could make these slides on your own if you want, but what I found was every day that I was having a student pick an animal, and we would kind of forget the animal that we picked maybe a few months ago, and then other kids would chime in and say like, oh, we've already done that animal. So what I did a couple years ago is I made a list of 180 animals that were all different so that I didn't have to keep track anymore of what the animal was. And so I just put them into an individual slide and wrote 2 facts per animal to share with my students. And we look at the picture and then we talk about the facts, and then I allow time for anybody that has an extra fact to raise their hand and share with the class. And a lot of times the kids do, because they watch animal programs and they're really excited to share what they already know about that particular animal. Many of the animals on the slides, though, are animals they've never heard of because they're from different parts of the world. And so we will talk about that. We'll find it on a map and integrate it into part of the day in a different way that we maybe didn't set out to, because sometimes we'll have to learn something completely new because we didn't know about a country or about an animal or what they like to eat or where they like to live. And that is the fun part of it, is like the conversation will take you in so many different directions. So why does this work so well? Well, kids love animals, and it's an instant curiosity magnet. It intrigues them. They want to learn more about it. And then later they can actually go write about this animal. For the longest time, I just had the conversation in our morning meeting circle and I didn't take it any further. And then other teachers who found my slides on Teachers Pay Teachers and were loving doing them asked me if there was a writing component that I could create, because they really liked when their students wanted to go write about it. Maybe it was later in the day during Daily 5 on work on writing, or they just wanted to have that as part of morning meeting. So I eventually added on to that. So every animal now has a writing page that goes along with it where the students can write the facts, and they could compile it and keep it for the entire year and have their own book of 180 baby animal facts that they could take with them as a memento for the end of the school year. The facts that I have listed really speak to the kids' interest and get them talking, because they're a lot of times things that they didn't know. Like I mentioned before, a country they've never heard of that this animal could be from, or maybe the type of food that that animal likes to eat. It just will invite the curiosity in, and then they might want to research more. And that's something they could do during work on writing during Daily 5, because remember, that is not a time where we're instructing writing, so it's a creative writing time, and they could take this animal and run with it and write so many more facts and make a report even if they wanted to. One of my favorite parts of having this as part of your morning meeting, though, is the perfect transition from home mode to classroom mode, starting the day off on the right foot, like I mentioned before, and it really does ease our way into the day. And you will find that your students are less distracted and more ready to take on the day and be a learner. You can use the baby animal slides in so many different ways. They can be a conversation starter during morning meeting. It can be a whole class thing where we're discussing the facts and reading them. Another student could share them out with you. The teacher helper of the day could be the person that does that and reading the facts. The writing prompt that I mentioned before could be used in their work on writing journal, or that you could print these all ahead of time and have them ready to go and bind them so that students have their baby animal book. And it's something that you could show at conference time, or that could be something that helps them with writing during work on writing. If they're struggling to come up with something during that time frame to work on, then they could always go back to that and add the facts. It's also the perfect activity that you could tie into science or reading during the day. There's so many possibilities with baby animals of the day, and with just one simple slide, it's going to transform the way that you run your morning meeting. It's flexible, fun, and effective, and it's just a good time had by all. I've had every principal that I've ever worked with, when they walked in during morning meeting, they always pulled up a chair and joined us when baby animal of the day was on the screen. Now, like I mentioned before, you are totally welcome to make your own slide of the day, and you could research all the animals. This was a time-consuming project for me. It took all summer one year to make all 180 slides and look up all of the facts, so it could save you time. You head to the description box below and you can grab the exact slides that I use in my own classroom every single day, and that hundreds of other teachers have used when they are planning out their morning meeting and they wanted to have baby animals as the big focal point of the part of their day that they don't want to miss. This tool gives you everything you need, whether it's the writing prompts that go along with the slides or just having the slides in general. No stress, zero prep activity that's ready to go for you every morning at 7 a.m. You can just pop them on to the screen and have them ready for when your kiddos come into the room and you're ready for morning meeting. And it's something that you don't have to think about. As teachers, we make 1,000 decisions a day, and I personally want to make one less. And so having these created ahead of time has been a complete game changer. It's a win-win again for you. You have focused and happy students, and you are enjoying your day more because you get to see the smiles on their faces, and you're all going to live longer because you looked at some cute baby animals. Whether you're a new teacher or a seasoned pro, these can be seamlessly integrated into your morning meeting, and I can't wait to hear how you like them. So make sure you send me a DM over on Instagram if you decide to add this as part of your morning meeting routine. I would love to hear from you. And there's been so many teachers who have reached out to me after they've used theirs in part of their day, and I'd like to share with you a couple things that they said because it will inspire you to use these every single day. One teacher told me that my 5th graders love these slides. They enjoy telling me what they know about the animal. When an animal is not as commonly known, I show a YouTube video and they love learning more. And that's something that we do on Fridays. We call it Fun Friday. We pull up a baby animal YouTube video. I usually vet it ahead of time, like make sure it doesn't have nothing inappropriate in it. And we watch that as well. In addition to the slide that we pulled up, it is a huge part of what makes Friday fun. It's an extra couple minutes that you can add on to morning meeting, and it is definitely worth it. Another teacher said, I love how these slides give the children all the relevant information they need. They're super easy to use and exactly what I was looking for. So imagine your morning meetings are calm, focused, and your students are engaged. And anytime somebody joins your morning meeting, they are just so excited to be a part of it because you're doing something different outside of the box, but also it encourages your students to have a great day as well as makes them more focused. It's the perfect solution, and I promise you, you won't regret adding baby animals to your morning meeting. If you're ready to transform your morning meeting, you can grab the exact slides I use in the description box below, and you can also have the writing prompts that go along with it. And again, send me a DM over at Literacy Fundamentals on Instagram. I'd love to hear how it's going for you. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you next week.